What is up, guys? It's your boy Solheim here, back with another Wrath of the Lich King Classic video. So today we're once again talking about the botting in Wrath of the Lich King Classic, and if you're not aware, I made a video a couple of days ago now, I think it's 3 or 4 days ago, where we talked about the fact that Blizzard banned a huge chunk of bots. As they say right here in the blue post, over the past few weeks they've taken action that removed almost 120,000 malicious accounts from the World of Warcraft ecosystem, including both Wrath of the Lich King Classic and also Classic Era. This is in addition to our usual ongoing ban waves, which often include actions against tens of thousands of accounts every single week. So they have banned 120,000 malicious accounts, or let's just call them bots right now. So they have banned a huge chunk of bots very recently, and I was very optimistic about the game, but I decided to log back in right now and do some research on what kind of effect this would have to the game itself and whether or not botting has actually been fixed, because when they ban this many bots, like 120,000 in one fell swoop, as well as adding that they're banning tens of thousands of accounts every single week, it kind of signals to me that there shouldn't really be that many bots in the game right now, right? Well, let's find out. I've been logging on to Gehenna's mainly, just to check out the botting situation on one of the most popular servers, as that will give us a very clear picture of what botting looks like in WoW. So here we go. So the first thing we're going to take a look at here is what the bots are doing. Basically, bots are usually farming gold and selling gold for real life cash, and the way they want to farm their gold is mainly inside instances, because while you're inside an instance, your chances of getting reported and even banned are very minimal, because you're spending less time in the open world and less people see what you're actually doing behind the scenes. Also, you have to basically click on someone right now to report them. You can't just /who and report that way. So yeah, there's a lot of things, but basically they're doing some dungeons, one of which is Mana Tombs, for example, and also the Botanica. So let's do a /who the Botanica right now, and let's also add Death Knight. So /who the Botanica and Death Knight on Gehenna's right now. So you can see there's more than 50 players. This only shows me 50 people because that is the cap. So this means that there's more than 50. It could be 60, could be 200, but basically there's a bunch of them in Botanica right now, and you can see some of these names. They're not really player names, right? Like these two right here are very similar, and just random letters put together, like all these 3 names, random letters put together, and you will see the same kind of thing happening all over this place. So bunch of DKs, level 71 to level 80 still in the Botanica, and if you check out their guild, you will see that a bunch of them are guildless, and some of them might just be in a placeholder guild as well to seem less suspicious. Now, one more thing we can do is /who Mana Tombs as well, because that is a popular dungeon that a lot of bots also do, especially if they have mining and herbalism, for example. Over here you will see some regular players though, so let's just use the guild mechanic once again and mainly look at Death Knights. So once again, level 67 Death Knight, and then you start seeing a bunch of level 70s and the level 80s. Now, I'm not gonna say all of them are bots, because these dungeons are decent gold farms, so some people can be doing them as an actual gold farming strategy, but also there are a bunch of actual bots in Mana Tombs. I do think the Botanica is slightly more popular. Well, it is, because there was 50 people there and only DKs and a bunch of guildless DKs, but they are spreading out a little bit. So you can see some DKs over here as well, some paladins, some of which might be bots once again. We're not only looking at DKs here, there could be some bots of other classes, and paladins, DKs and even rogues are popular botting classes. And speaking of popular botting classes, we can take a look at what the early level DKs are doing as well. So over here you will see once again a bunch of random names that are probably not real players, and it's a bunch of DKs that are in Blackrock Spire all the way from level 58 all the way up to level 53, and also some of them are in the Blackrock Mountains, probably either going to the Blackrock Spire or they are vendoring stuff. So once again, we can use the guild mechanic. You will see a bunch of them are guildless over here as well. There's only 2 out of all of these DKs that are actually in a guild. All the other ones are just unguilded DKs with random player names in Blackrock Spire, and if you do a /who Blackrock Spire, you will see a lot of these same names in Blackrock Spire 24/7. Now, one more thing we can take a look at is, for example, botting inside battlegrounds, especially Alterac Valley. But even if you're doing something as simple as Arathi Basin while you're leveling up, a bunch of DKs will be in your battlegrounds, and this picture shown on screen right now is actually from the Classic WoW Reddit, which happened like this picture right here, was shared 1 day after Blizzard banned all those bots. So obviously the bots are back. You can see half the battleground here is basically bots. So over half the battleground, which to be fair, it was a lot worse back in the day, or like before in the ban wave, but still half the BG being bot is a problem. Now, the simple thing is, botting will always be a problem in Classic WoW, especially until Blizzard does something about it. Like, let's talk about the WoW token, for example, which is one thing they can implement to the game to make gold buying and gold selling less lucrative and also more problematic, and they would basically offer a legal and easier solution to buy gold in which they can capitalize with. It's not something I personally want to see, but if it's something that will help the botting issue, I'm kind of actually for it, but still I would like to see them do something else, like having active game masters, for example, that are actively monitoring these bots, especially in just monitor DKs and anyone using the level 58 boost. The simple thing is, even though Blizzard banned 120,000 bots and they say they're banning tens of thousands every single week, botting is still a massive problem, and this is for a variety of reasons. Like, first of all, bots can obviously level up from scratch as always, and when you make a brand new account, even though you can't make a brand new level 55 DK anymore, you can simply buy a level 58 boost and then you can make a DK. Or you can, well, it's not level 55 boost anymore, you can buy a level 70 boost and then you can make a DK. Or you can start botting on your level 70 character. Also, a bunch of people that have quit Classic WoW or Wrath Classic is also selling their accounts on a black market website, so you can buy accounts, which is also something these bots are doing, which is why sometimes you're seeing a level 80 DK with decent raid gear that is also botting, because they have bought the account and they're using that account for profit. Now, one last thing I'll bring up here is that botting will always be more active on the huge servers where GDKPs are also active. So for example, Gehenna's Horde, if you're playing on EU, is a big server. It is the biggest server we have, and there's a bunch of GDKPs going on 24/7. There's a huge market for buying items inside raids. Basically, this is a system that came out in Classic WoW, GDKP, where basically when an item drops that you want, you can actually offer your gold for it, and whoever offers the most will then get the item, effectively making Classic WoW pay to win and offering anyone who farms or bots for gold and then sells that gold. It offers up a huge market for both gold buying and gold selling, both of which are illegal activities, and it's really interesting that Blizzard has let this go on for so long, both botting, also GDKP, and gold buying and gold selling, without trying to capitalize on it. And I would actually expect the WoW token to be coming out sometime throughout Wrath Classic. Either way, that's going to be my video on the update of the botting problem, and it's obviously still a problem. Like, once again, /Huda Botanica, there's so many bots just inside dungeons 24/7, especially the Botanica, which is literally, it has the word bot in it. There's so many DKs, still a massive problem. Banning 120,000 bots was obviously not enough, and we need more active banning. Either way, that is my update on the botting issue. It's something I talk a lot about on this channel, so I personally think this update right here was something we needed to talk about, because when the update came out that they banned a bunch of bots, I was very optimistic about the future. Now, not so much. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider dropping a like down below. It really helps out my channel and the video in particular. Also, subscribe to the channel for more Classic WoW content. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.